Who were some of the women involved in the suffrage movement? In this short clip, I will merely talk about the background of some of the women suffragists. I will also mention some of their accomplishments and what they had to offer to the suffrage movement. Well, we all know Susan B. Anthony, but some of the things we might not have known about her is that she was a Quaker with teacher temperance and an abolition organizer. She was an outstanding women's rights leader with sharp political instincts. She was responsible for encouraging women to form labor unions, even though with doing so, she had to take great ridicule with things like harsh cartoons and newspaper attacks. But we now know her as a symbol of women's suffrage. Alice Stone Blackwell was a leading suffrage writer and journalist. She edited the Women's Journal for 35 years. She also helped merge rival suffrage groups into the National American Women's Suffrage Association of 1890. She translated languages like Russian, American, Yiddish, and other oppressed people's poetry. Blackwell was great in the suffrage movement by urging women to remain an autonomous moral force in politics. Lucy Burns, the red-headed Irish Catholic, was a militant suffrage organizer and widely respected leader. She was a lobbyist, speaker, teacher, editor, and a hunger striker. Burns brought fierceness and resoluteness to the American women's suffrage movement that came very rare. Burns became a symbol for the faint-hearted. At the end of the National Woman's Party, she had spent more time in jail than any American suffragist. Carrie Lane Chapman Catt was a teacher, school superintendent, journalist, and lecturer. She was also a field organizer with Susan B. Anthony. Catt recognized the National American Women's Suffrage Association to be more political in 1890. She helped with things like fundraising, planning, and administrating, and led New York campaigns. Something called her Winning Plan combined state and federal work and unified the mainland movement of 1916. She founded the League of Women Voters. Some say that us as women really owe her our right to vote. Abigail Scott Dunaway dedicated herself to the causes of women's rights. She published a newspaper called The New Northwest that involved some of the rights women needed to have. She managed Susan B. Anthony's Pacific Northwest visit in 1871. She lectured people throughout the states of Oregon, Washington, and Idaho for suffrage and women's rights. Dunaway led the Oregon Equal Suffrage Association in 1873. She helped with the winning of suffrage in the Washington Territory in 1883. She was also honored as Oregon's first woman voter. Well, lastly, we have Sojourner Truth, a black woman born a slave named Isabella, decided to escape her past life and make a change in the world for women. Even though Sojourner Truth was illiterate, she preached to many crowds about what she believed in. She spoke at one women's rights meeting during the 1850s. She is remembered for her dramatic speech, Ain't I a Woman, which is one of my very favorites. So there you have it. Only a few of the women that were involved in women's suffrage. We owe it to them for what we have today, women's rights.